Morning, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic morning so far. Guys, I'm here to talk to you this morning about the word narrative and what that means and its implications. What is a narrative? Well, a narrative is a version of reality, a version of events, the perspective or perception of events by a person or a group of people. Now, in many countries, including my own, there are opposing narratives. For example, there is the narrative that says that Donald Trump is a terrible human being. He's a dictator. He doesn't respect human rights. He doesn't care about women's rights. And he hates people from Latin America. That's one narrative. The other narrative says that Joe Biden is the bad guy, and he wants to destroy the United States. He wants to allow illegal immigrants and drugs to come into the United States. However, I'm not sure which narrative is correct, which narrative is true. And the reason is because a narrative usually benefits the person telling the story. When one political group or person has a narrative and points the finger at the other group or person, they are creating a version of reality that benefits them and negatively affects their opponents. So the question that I have for you today is, how can citizens determine a narrative? How can citizens determine whether a narrative is true or not? And how can citizens determine how much of a narrative is true? Is one narrative true? Are both narratives false? Do they contain elements of truth? How can we, in the time of the internet and social media, determine what is real and what is false? The term misinformation is used in this context. Unfortunately, we live in the time of abundant information but little truth. And we don't have a mechanism to determine what is true and what is simply a narrative. So my question for you today is, I want you to think about your country. I want you to think about where you are today. And I would like you to think about the narrative. What is the narrative that you are being told? Is there one narrative? Are there multiple narratives? And how can citizens like myself, like you, how can we determine what is true, what is real, accurate information, and what is a lie? We know that power corrupts. We know that those in power create and construct narratives to manipulate and control the masses. So my question is, how can we understand the truth? It sounds easy, but it's not. Please write your answer below, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Have fun. Enjoy some good food.